Who's feeling brave right now? Okay, get up, bro. Come up, inshallah. Okay, brother Anas.
Go easy on me.
Yeah, inshallah. I'm gonna play the role, if you like, of asking questions about Islam, right? And I want you to see how you react in the situation, right? So now you've been pre-warned. We've gone through some of the common ones, right? We're gonna just ask those.
Okay.
So, Anas, why do you guys beat your women for?
Well, you know what, John? Can I call you John?
No.
What's your name?
Just answer the question.
Okay, well, that's a fantastic question, John. Do you want tea? Coffee?
Why are you calling me John? You're offending me.
What's your name?
It doesn't matter. Just answer the question.
Okay, wait. If I asked you, for example, what car you have, and I want a yes or no question, that doesn't really suit your criteria.
That's not the answer to my question.
Okay, we'll get there. But in order to understand anything with Islam,
Yeah.
you have to understand the basic principles.
Ah, okay. You've done this before, haven't you?
Yes. yes.
MashaAllah. Okay. That's what you do normally, right? That you say, if you want to understand about Islam or know about Islam or know the answers to your questions, you need to know some of the basics of Islam first, right? Okay. Now play the person who doesn't know this.
Yeah,
Okay.
cool,
Let's do it this way so people can understand.
Okay.
So, Anas, why do you guys cover your women in bin bags or bin liners for?
Well, you know what, I mean, we don't cover them. It's their free will. They have the right to do it. I mean, and it's a term of modesty, basically.
It's modesty and it's their free will, but you force them, don't you?
I mean,
The Quran forces them, doesn't it? It tells them to do this.
It is mentioned in the Quran, yes, but
Okay, but you said it's free will.
it is their free will. They choose
But
to
then
do
you
it.
said the Quran says that then it's not really free will, is it?
You know what, John? I want the tea back. Right?
No, I'm not John, by the way. Thank you, Jazakallah.
Yeah.
Sit down. But see, this is the problem. When we do this, what happens is when we try to answer the questions they asked, we give them control, right? And when you give them control, they can direct the conversation in whichever way they like. It's really been designed for discovery. And why? The question of why is very interesting, and Islam has a very profound answer to this. We're going to go into this. Just another side point before we move on. If you look at it from an evolutionary perspective, right? If we step up a level, go to evolution, what does evolution intend? What's the goal, if you like, if we can say that, of evolution? Can someone tell me?
That we evolved from previous life forms.
Well, what's the intent, if you like? I don't know. We can't say intent because again, it's a blind, mindless process. But what is it geared towards?
That is no need for a
That's what they say. But what is evolution concerned with? Yes, bro. Survival is one, yes. Survival and reproduction, right? This blind random process governed by natural selection is concerned with survival and reproduction. Now, to answer this question, how did understanding mathematics, calculating pi, or doing algebra ever result in survival and reproduction? Think about this. It makes absolutely no sense. It makes literally no sense. If you were walking down a jungle, imagine for a second you guys were leading mathematicians from Portsmouth, yeah? You're a professor at Portsmouth. You're going down a jungle and you're discussing with a colleague equations that you've been discovering or something, right? And suddenly you see a lion. Yeah, and the lion's growling and it's roaring. And you notice it. And it starts running towards you. What are you going to do? Run. Yeah? If you're saying you're going to run, yeah? You're going to run, you're going to jump if you see a tree, and you're going to hide if you see a cave. Right? So the point is, when we are challenged in concerns to our survival, when we put in a survival situation, we go back down to foundational reasoning, basic reasoning. Reasoning which animals have as well. Monkeys can run and hide. Right? You're not going to be sitting there calculating your descent to the tree and the angle of, the angle you're going to take into the cave. This is not going to it's not going to be a concern. You're just going to run, you're going to bolt, you're going to say lion, run, that's it. So these discovery and survivability are two separate things, they're not linked. Discovering the universe, understanding the universe, doing mathematics, dabbling in philosophy, these things have no relation to your survivability or reproduction. Animals do that just fine. Animals have been surviving and reproducing for thousands of years. Cockroaches, yeah, one of the most resilient creatures we know, has been surviving for centuries. It's a cockroach, that's it. It survives, it reproduces. It reproduces like crazy. Who's had a cockroach infestation? Or knows someone that's had a cockroach infestation? Infestation where cockroaches get into the house and they reproduce and take over the house basically. Right? Who's heard of it? Okay. What happens basically is once they get in, they multiply and they reproduce like crazy. Right? And before you know it, there's cockroaches everywhere, in your beds, in your cupboards, in your rooms, in your kitchens, everywhere. Right? They survive and they do a better job at reproducing than humans do. Yeah? They don't do mathematics. When did you ever see a group of cockroaches over coffee discussing quantum mechanics? They don't do it. It's not their concern. So again, driving the point home is survivability has nothing to do with discovery, right? And the most basic way we can formulate this argument, Shid's argument, is if there is no God and all that exists is physical, natural world, which is governed by blind, random processes, and everything is a result of non-rational processes, how do you get rationality from that? How do you get a rational mind and a rational universe? There is no answer. There's literally no answer. If anything, it's counter-discourse. To claim that our rationality has arisen from blind, random processes is counter-discourse. You're proposing something which denies the whole thing, denies our rationality, and denies the universe. But from Islam, this is amazing. I'll just make a last point on this. Why are we created? Why does Allah tell us He created us? To worship Him, right? Now, seldom in the Quran does Allah try proving His existence. Hence, I don't like to give arguments for the existence of God. Whenever I do, I try to link them back to the Quran. How does Allah lead us to His worship in the Quran?
He tells us to ponder things.
Ponder over what?
His creation.
Yeah, creation. Do they not see the heavens and the earth? Verily, in the creations of the heavens and the earth and the alternation of the night and day, and they are signs for those of understanding. We will show them our signs in the horizons and within themselves, until it becomes clear, manifest to them it's the truth. We've seen a sign from within ourselves, the DNA. Now look at the signs in the horizons. The signs are everywhere. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala shows us these signs to lead us to His worship. Right? Now here's the inference I'm going to make. Right? We realize we have a rational mind. Somehow we've ended up with a rational mind, and we have a rational universe. And this is what Allah is telling us to do. He gave us this rational mind, and He gave us this intelligible universe, a rational universe, so we can understand these things in the universe. So we can do science, which will lead us to His worship. SubhanAllah. These things are there to lead us to His worship, not to deny Him. Seriously, this is why Allah gave us these abilities. That He gave us a rational mind and a rational universe so we can worship Him, so we can perceive these things. You know what's even more amazing? How big is the universe? How big is the universe? The visible universe, if you like. Does anyone know? I don't know myself, but it's huge, right? The point is huge, okay? Now, how big is the Earth? It's tiny, right? There's a picture, I think, taken by, that's probably if I'm not mistaken, by Hubble or one of the satellites they sent up. And I don't know if you've seen it, Carl Sagan used it in one of his books, on his cover. And you can see a small blue dot. And this was just taken outside of a solar system. A tiny blue dot that you can't even make out the Earth. Look how insignificant the Earth is compared to the universe, right? Think about this now. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed us. We're insignificant. In the grand scheme of things, we're insignificant. But to help us, to aid us, to lead us to His worship, Allah gave us rationality. Look at the importance Allah has given us. This is showing mercy. This is an act of great mercy, right? I mean, people talk about God's not merciful. Look at the mercy Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has on us. He wants us to worship Him, and He's making it easy by giving us rationality, by giving us a rational universe.